What?
Don't you ever just have sad days?
Okay, so basically, what I'll do, your step number one is take one of the smaller brushes. So like, I'll just kind of real quick, you're almost like just getting the gestures. So like, I know I want the stream to kind of go that way. And I know there's going to be this big clump of trees. And I know there's going to be a tree right here. I'm going to have this big tree right here. And there's some mountains back here. And so it's just kind of that simple of just... And I mean, this is extra sloppy here. You can do it a little bit more carefully. I'm kind of exaggerating to show how it's not that big a deal.
You can get it if you really want.
Who sings that?
But you must try. Till you succeed at last.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And also what you're trying to do now, at this point, you want to establish where your focal point is.
Okay.
So like, I know I want my focal point to be kind of right in here, because you don't want your focal point right in the middle. It's kind of against the rules, although there's no rules. And so I know it's one here, so I'm going to make sure I stay a little bit lower.
So are you just doing... Oh yeah, you're just doing a section of your picture then. You're kind of cropping it with your brain.
Yeah, I know that there's the center. And I just went a little bit off the center there.
So I noticed you're doing blocks of color now.
Yep, keep it moving.
Okay.
So at this point, yeah, like that's plenty of drawing.
Yeah, I don't need more.
Can I get a shot of it?
Of course.
So there's Emmy's. That's a pretty good drawing though. So like, but here's the thing. So now you want to do pretty thin, like, so you can see through, and just start establishing your blocks or shapes. They call it blocking it in.
Blocking. Okay, cool.
Like really
thin blocking colors.
On this small a painting, you're looking for like maybe 6 blocks at the most.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And, and it's not precious. You know what I mean? Like, just slap it in there. Think of it this way. This is one of about 2,000 paintings you're going to do.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So who cares?
Yeah, I don't care about it.
Don't think of it as like one of 4 paintings you're going to do. So we're just going to slap it out.
Slap it on and slap it out.
Yeah, it didn't sound so good. There's a reason I don't talk in the videos, because I start just jabbering.
I know.
And like the faster you work, the more kind of life the painting will have. Mm-hmm. It keeps it kind of... It makes it feel like the wind's blowing, because it's like... It's just happening fast. I heard a quote one time. Paintings aren't made, they're caught in the net.
Ooh.
Meaning, like, you can't just sit down and say, I'm going to make... Great paintings aren't made, they're caught in the net. Meaning, like, you can't just sit down and say, I'm going to make a great painting.
Okay.
It means you have to make 1,000 or 2,000, and you're going to catch 1 or 2 in a net. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you know who Anthony Jeselnik is?
Mm-mm.
He's a comedian. And I heard this interview with him. And it's pretty interesting. It was pretty cool. He was like this open mic comedian. He was living in New York. I think it was New York. And, he was going to his open mics. And he said he was writing like a couple jokes a week kind of thing. And And at the time, I think it was the Conan O'Brien show was new. Knew one of the writers, and somehow the writer got him a job on this sitcom, writing for the jokes for this late night talk show, right? Mm-hmm. He goes in, reports for work, you know, and they like greet him and say, cool, nice to meet you, welcome aboard, all this good stuff. Said, okay, we need 75 jokes a day from you. And he was like, what? Like 75 jokes a day? Like, he said, I'm not sure if I'd even written 75 jokes in my life at that point. He was like, I just didn't even think it was like humanly possible to do that. And he was kind of freaking out. And then he said after about a week or two, he saw how the other guys were doing it. They were coming in, and a lot of it was just trash and just random thoughts. They weren't even really fully formed jokes. It was just kind of stuff they were throwing out, you know, and so he started, you know, doing the 75 jokes a day as well. And he said before he knew it, you know, he was doing it pretty easily. And he said what he found from that, or what he realized, is that over the course of his life, let's say he writes 500,000 jokes. He said maybe only 200 of those jokes are going to be good jokes that like other comedians are going to respect, or that is going to stick in people's heads. He goes, well, there's no way to just sit down and write those 200 jokes. You have to do the 500,000 in order to get those 200.
Right, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's just like paintings. Like,
right.
Just throw them out there. They're not precious. Every once in a while, you'll stumble on a really good one. You'll go, oh.
Sing it.
They're pretty fun. It's time to get real.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
That was, excuse me.
So at this point, you're just going to go in and fill some areas. And I mean, I wish there was more to tell you, but it's kind of not. Like, it's just sort of, you know, it's almost like you gotta load it up. Why is that funny?
Get loaded.
You gotta load it up in order to take it back off. Okay. So like, you know, I'm gonna put some down here. Okay, so I know this one's gonna be a pretty dark shape. It's pretty prominent, pretty foregroundish. And I mean, this is super quick and fast. Mm-hmm. And then like next, you'll come in. So like then I want, this is sort of out of order, and I'm just doing this as a rough example, I guess. This is an example. So like I know this is going to be kind of that background color. And it's back to that thing, you know, how I was telling you, there's no such thing as lines, there's only edges. So then you start getting to where now you can play with this edge. And like, so the goal is you're coming in, you're loading up these blocks, and then you can come back and manipulate the edges. You know, you can make it all soft, or you can make it like super sharp.
Cool. Helpful, yeah.
But first you gotta load it up in order to go back and do that.
Get loaded. Chartreuse.
So what do you think? Are you feeling... I mean, start with the ground, okay.
I laid it on thick, but I think it's exciting. I noticed yours is thinner.
No,
should I just keep
it's
going
fine.
with it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I think I like it thick like that.
Typically, the rule of thumb is you work thin to heavy.
Okay.
But, I mean, don't worry about that. right now.
Okay.
It will eventually. It'll just happen.
Okay, I'm gonna go thinner with my next layer though. With that in mind.
You haven't had diarrhea lately, have you?
Diarrhea? No, why? You're having diarrhea?
Well, I hear it's going around.
Oh God.
I thought maybe that's what the burping was.
No, I think it's just a bubbly.
Oh, the water.
Yeah. So you play baseball?
I mean, people threw baseballs to me occasionally, but that doesn't matter.
You didn't play it like for school?
No.
No.
I was not an athlete. I was
always an artist.
Yes. These hands do not play football. Like, here's a happy accident. You see this,
Hey, Bob
where these
Ross.
two... I love Bob Ross. You see where these two... Like, that's just a cool thing that just happened because I was just slopping paint down, you know.
What part do you like?
This where these two trees meet.
Like the yellow that's coming through?
The yellow is coming through, those little dots of dark.
The dots of dark.
And just how, you know, it's not a line or, you know, showing here's where this tree ends, here's where this one starts. It's just kind of a vibe or a flavor.
And that's extra important because you're doing trees too. So
Yeah.
They are really...
They're wild. You can't draw it. You know, they look frozen
Right.
if you like really try to draw it, you know.
Right.
So like I'll try and leave some of that just because it looks cool.
Okay.
But that's part of what you're working for. Like actually these clouds are a good example of how like you can't really draw that.
Right, right.
Like that's just sort of, oh, hey, that'd be cool for a cloud.
Right. Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Right on.
So yeah, I actually been thinking about your situation because I went into Artisans, well, in the video there. You saw I went in there. And I just bought like a little bit of stuff. It was $400.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, shit, like it got me thinking about your situation of how like, you know, this is like an expensive hobby.
Right.
And so like, how do you kind of, get paid to learn how to paint?
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of thought, you know, landscapes, they're not glamorous. They're not sexy. They're not revolutionary. They're not, you know, some people see them as like it's a sellout or it's a cliche or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you know what? You could probably cover your costs at least. You like...
Yeah. And I mean, I'm really enjoying this right now, and I don't know, like nature's like super awesome and sacred, and
There you go.
you can't really paint it enough.
And so I avoided landscapes for up until just maybe 10 years ago now. Which, I mean, is actually fairly recent for me, I guess. And, you know, the first time I did one, it was embarrassing. I was like, this is so bad. Like, well, it was like, they're hard. It's hard to do a nice landscape because it's been done so many times. So many people. That actually looks really cool.
Thanks.
You're right. Can I get a shot of it?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool for, I mean, a first real
deal.
I mean, that's pretty... I mean, yeah. Like, I don't want to give you any advice. I keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll keep locking it in, and then I'm really curious about if there's any next steps and stuff. But got some more blocks to do.
Yeah, I'm still blocking here. Or filling the canvas, as they say. But, you know, and it was in that moment, though, that I realized, like, oh, these are really hard to do. Mm-hmm. And this isn't something that people are doing because it's easy. People are doing it because it is, like, the ultimate art form to do figures and landscapes.
Yep.
Okay. So I think I got mine fairly well blocked in. Seeing, oh, that's a cool little shape. Or
your river road is kind of insane. How did you end up there?
What do you mean?
It's like, that's not like skill 1 to create.
Well, I've painted a lot of water.
So you just know what.
Well, and I'm going to come back and do this. And, like, I know I want this to be more purple. So it'll start, like, shaping up that way. And then another cool thing, you can come back with one of these guys. And you can start doing, like, that kind of stuff. You know, I can start kind of going, making the vibe of grass. You know, I'm not drawing every blade of grass, but I'm going to give it the vibe. And, like, you know, like, I know this edge is not going to be a sharp edge because when grass grows, it's going to overlap that water. So I can start.
You have depth.
And you can see how it starts to, like, give you the feeling of grass.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Without
having to, you know, and it's like 2 seconds or whatever.
That blue-gray color is really impressive.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So that's your cerulean and alizarin. Cerulean and alizarin.
Okay, that's what I needed. I almost asked you earlier how to kind of make that, and I was like, I'll just keep trying, and I have this giant pile of it.
And for landscapes, it's almost always good to just
put that in with them.
Just a little bit of raw umber goes. It just gives you that earthy.
Okay.
I can block the glare. That's pretty good. Let me get a shot of yours. If you don't mind. I mean, a first time ever with oil, that's pretty good. It's pretty crazy on the screen. It really looks like the photograph.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Oh, this is the best part with the camera. Okay.
Oh, the tape. Oh my god.
It's like a reveal.
Makes everything look so much better.
It really does. It's like an instant frame.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little painting.
Mm-hmm.
Money in the bank.
Yeah.
In 6 months. Gotta have some paper towel shots. Get some shots of your palette.
The distraction.
The aftermath.
Right.
Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5. Okay, stay. Good job.
Mighty is the sword, but mightier is the word. Strokes made by pen, strike better. Don't you believe in the letter? They just goes off. Write me a letter. Write me a letter.
It's all about the performance. It's all about the artists.
It's all about the.
Is today your birthday?
Yeah.
It's my brother's birthday.
That was like 18. Oh wow.
Yeah, out in New Jersey.
It is.
Gotta deal with your left ass down. Or maybe do it. I say with rock, paper, scissors on the wet panties of Ozzy. You gotta get me back out. There ain't no more fucking time. But you gotta keep the beat, baby, don't take it sweet. Keep rolling, keep rolling.
No, you can't. Oh, you can. Why are you giggling?
I'm a man with no job or car. People ask me how I got this far. Well, my body keeps itself quite sound, and with my donkey I still get around. But you're a lady who's fine and fair. Your working and driving seems so debonair. How would make you my French queen, mistress of the house whose servants you train? But I'm nobody really, I've nothing to give, no means to provide you the life we would live. I'm nobody really, I come from nowhere necessarily, then for you there's nobody must disappear.
Why is that so funny? Did you watch that video that Jeff made like 30 years ago? He's wearing this cape and did you see it?
No.
Oh, it was so fun. They were playing it like a little while ago. We were laughing hysterically. It was so absurd. But he had this cape on and he was saying paint, material, things don't matter. You know, it was beautiful. It was like early Jeff.
How old do you think he was? I got Tony Vera.
Very New York.
We got New York.
New York.
Come on.
Come on, New York.
I never seen my donkey focus this much. He's been going full speed all day. Broke it there, don't ask me how, and I hope it leads me to joke for pork and beans. Pork and beans. We're going something to Joe, and I wave it is gonna have a pot of pork and beans. Pork and beans. Pork and beans. Joe, and I wave it is gonna have a pork and beans.
I am. My friends is
I've never seen my dog before. This much she's been going full speed all day. The road going dog to jail. We say pork and beans. Pork and beans. We're almost there to pick the Joe now. We know it'll be a big Yeah.